think the key for me today is that we understand about being a witness and witnessing. That we understand that God is calling us, yes, to witness to people. But first of all, let our actions be our witness. Andy Self earlier said to me that in his old church, before they moved to Boreham Wood, somebody had said to him, let your actions be absolutely everything in your witness. And if you need to, speak as well. I just think we need to understand that. Let our actions be absolutely everything. I want to just think now about practical applications of this. I've said about the car, but I want you just to take 2 or 3 minutes now to think about where you live, about your neighbours, about your friends, who you interact with, and what do they think of you in your daily life? Are you any different to what they see from their other friends? Just think about that for a second. See, if we're no different to the other friends that people have, then we're just noise. We're just clanging gongs. In 2 Corinthians 5:18, 18 to 20, it says, all this is from God, who reconciled us to himself through Christ and gave us the ministry of reconciliation. That God was reconciling the world to himself in Christ, not counting men's sins against them, and he has committed to us the message of reconciliation. We are therefore Christ's ambassadors. As though God were making his appeal through us, we implore you on Christ's behalf, be reconciled to God. Ambassadors carry such a weight of responsibility on their shoulders. If you ever hear an ambassador being interviewed on Radio 4, which is my station of choice, and I apologise, so let's say Capital or Radio 1. But if you hear an ambassador being interviewed, they choose their words incredibly carefully. Because with that title comes authority. They represent the whole of their country. As ambassadors of Christ, we represent God. Which is just awesome. If you're a Christian here today, you represent God on the earth. That should fill you with absolute fear. It should fill you with the fear of the Lord. So that in every action, in every behavior, in every circumstance, men with the wives, you know, which end of the scale do you fit in on? The coward or the abuser? It's powerful stuff. As Christians, we're called to be ambassadors. We're called to stand before this world and show them a different way. If people say, yeah, they're a bunch of nice folk, it's not enough. They need to say, there's a bunch of people who are so transformed, who are so different. They genuinely do represent somebody who is out of this world. We want to see this place full of people. But because they've been transformed, because their lives have been radically changed by Jesus, we can't do that. As ambassadors, we can bring a message. But we can't change people. That's God's job.